Hi there! Thank you so much for joining me tonight. This is Julie DiMatteo from thepaperpixie.com, and in tonight's Facebook Live, I'm going to show you how to make this super cute gift tag gift box. I would like to give credit to fellow demonstrator in the UK, Caroline Helwig Wright. This project is totally inspired by her. She came up with a very similar box. It was just sized to fit the everyday label punch, and I just made this a little bit larger to fit our gift tags using the scalloped tag topper. So I made my box a little bit bigger. I'm going to jump right into the project. Let's go ahead and get started. I have a little belly band on there that just slides off, and then wait for it. How cute is that? I love it. I've got 6 gift tags stored in here. And I just love these little gift tags. Look at that. Isn't that beautiful? Just a really sweet way to add a little gift tag to a gift. And you can write down for and from. I love this stamp. This comes from Merry Little Labels. The first thing we're going to start with is the lid. So this piece, this is fresh fig, and this measures 4 1/8 by 5 1/4. I'm going to go ahead and use my Stampin' Trimmer here. And we are going to score on all 4 sides at 1 1/2. So that's pretty easy to remember. All right, so all 4 sides at 1 1/2. I'm going to go ahead and fold and burnish. I'm going to kind of build this in stages here. So we'll start with the lid. All right, so I folded and burnished on all of the score lines. And along this longer side, I'm going to cut up the vertical score lines stopping at the horizontal line, okay? So I'm going to go ahead and cut up those lines. And on both of these, I'm going to cut them to about, I don't know, 1/2 inch of a section. We don't need all this extra paper. So you can just go ahead and get rid of that. And then I'm just going to notch these in, and that's just going to make our box be nice and sharp when we put it together. All right. Do the same thing on the opposite side, so cutting up those vertical score lines to that horizontal score line. And this again is along the longer side. Get rid of that excess cardstock here. And notch those in. You just don't want those ends sticking out anywhere. Because remember, this is a gift for someone, so we want it to look nice and pretty. All right, let me grab that template. So here's what we just did essentially, okay? So we removed this excess. We have these 2 horizontal, 2 vertical score lines, and we notched in these tabs. Then I'm just gonna put some tear and tape adhesive along these tabs. I'm gonna take the tear and tape and put it right up against that score line. So now we've done those. Now all we're going to do is, I'm just going to remove all the tear and tape backings. All right, so then I'm just going to meet up this edge right here where this score line is to make a corner for the box top. Okay, we're going to do that on all 4 sides. So there's the top. I know, not very exciting, but it'll be fun when we put it together. We've done the top. Now I'm going to have a piece of fresh fig again, and this measures 3 1/2 inches by 7 9/16. Yes, I know, a 16th. I don't like the 16th inch measurements either, but it's what's going to help this all fold together nicely. So I'm going to bring back my Stampin' Trimmer, and we're going to go ahead and score this along the 7 9/16 inch side, so the longer side, at 1 1/16. So that's the first little tick mark after the 1 inch. That's a 16th measurement. 3 1/4. 4 5/16. And 6 1/2. Now, see how the 6 1/2 is over to the edge? You can pull the arm out if you like. But the other thing you can do is just on this right side, just do that 1 1/16. Okay. All right, so there's our wrap. Now we're just gonna do one quick thing here. I'm gonna bring out my envelope punch board and we're gonna round the corners. That just gives it a nice finish. All right, so we've got all those corners rounded, and then I'm just gonna fold and burnish on those 4 score lines we made. And the wrap is ready, so I'm gonna put that to the side. Now we're going to make 2 pockets. This measures 2.5 inches by 5 3/4 inches. For the inside pockets, along the 2.5 inch side, we're just gonna do a little 1/2 inch score line. And because that's such a short section, we're gonna go ahead and do that. I like anything like up to 1 1/4 inch. I like to use the measurements along the right side of the Stampin' Trimmer. So I'm gonna do that at 1/2 inch and score. Then I'm gonna go ahead and rotate it. And now we're going to score, I've got that little 1/2 inch section along the bottom. I'm going to score that along the 5 3/4 inch side at 2 1/8, 2 5/8, 4 3/4, and 5 1/4. Now you're gonna do that to both pieces, same measurements. First thing I'm gonna do is fold and burnish on all those score lines. All right, now we're gonna cut away some pieces. So let me bring in a little template for you. Here's what that template looks like. So along the edge here, this right-hand side is gonna be our little tab. So I'm gonna go ahead and do a little notch up here at the top, a notch at the bottom. Then we're also going to cut out this lower corner and notch this little tab in as well. Okay. Then we're gonna also cut up these, we're basically cutting up these vertical score lines to that horizontal score line and then notching in these little teeny tiny tabs. So there's the template. We just did it that way. Again, we've got our notched in tab along the side and then these notched in little teeny tiny tabs. Okay, now I've done that to another piece as well. So we've got 2 pieces for the pockets, and I'm gonna place tear and tape right along that score line on this tab. And then if I flip it over, right along the cardstock edge, not the score line, but the cardstock edge on the back side of the tab closest to this little side tab. Okay, so let's go ahead and do that. So right along that tab and then right along the cardstock edge, okay? All right, so let's go ahead and put these boxes together. So first thing I'm gonna do is peel back the tear and tape backing along this side, and I'm folding on that second score line from the left and then on this first score line from the right, and that should square up your box to meet perfectly right there. Okay, might as well do that to the other piece as well while we're here. So this is going to be the back of our little pocket, so that's why we put the tear and tape here. This is going to be the front tab that we fold over. So all we're going to do is push in these little side tabs, then this back tab, pull off that tear and tape, and then I'm just squaring up that box and pressing that tab down. And then we'll have this little slip pocket, okay? I'll repeat that on this one as well. Okay, so we've got 2 little pockets. Now I'm going to bring in the wrap here, and 1 pocket at a time I'm going to use some liquid multi-purpose glue and put that along the back. I'm being pretty liberal with it here because we do want to make sure that that stays put. And then all I'm going to do is in these 2 larger sections, this is going to fit right inside, and we're going to put that right to the bottom edge of that paper. Okay, let me hold this up closer so you can see that. See how that fits right in that little middle section there? So I'm just going to press that into place. Now I do like using the liquid glue here because it gives us some wiggle room in case we need to move that around. And I like to kind of fold up the sides and make sure that that's not out of place. All right, so we've got that one done. And I just use my bone folder on the inside of the pocket to kind of press that into place. We're going to do the same thing with the other pocket. All right, So there's those pockets are in place. It's coming together, and what I love is these little side flaps just kind of overlap for each other and create this little box. So we made that lid, and that should all fit nicely together because we use those 1/16 of an inch marks. Okay, it's a snug fit. All right, so let's go ahead and make a tag to go on the inside. I have a piece of fresh fig that measures 2 inches by 3 3/4. We're gonna go ahead and feed that into the scallop tag topper punch. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and slide that into the 2-inch tray here. And it gives this beautiful scalloped tag at the top. And then to finish this tag off, I'm just going to use my envelope punch board around those corners. So using the Lots of Labels framelits, I want to give credit to Linda Parker. She's a fellow UK demonstrator. It was like my mind was blown. The 4th largest or 4th smallest framelit from Lots of Labels nests so perfectly with the everyday label punch. So I cut out from silver foil paper using that 4th smallest or 4th largest die, and so that's going to fit right here. Then let's go ahead and do some quick stamping. We're going to use the Merry Little Labels stamp set. I love this stamp set. We're going to use this 4 from, and if you notice, and I didn't notice this the first time I stamped it, but the 4 and the from is at a little bit of an angle. You don't have to stamp it at an angle, it'll still fit. So we're going to use the Fresh Fig ink, and I've mounted it on my clear block at a little bit of an angle. Go ahead and stamp that down. And then I'm going to punch this out with the Everyday Label Punch. And it's just a wonderful fit there. What I do to punch this out is I just kind of eyeball that I have the same distance at the end of these little dotted lines to the edge of the punch, and the same distance from the 2F to the edge of the punch as well. That just kind of centers it for me. We're going to do 2 of them because we're also going to do one on the outside of the box. So look how perfectly those 2 layer with each other. Isn't that an awesome find? Again, Linda Parker. Awesome. Okay, so I'm just going to quickly grab some fast fuse for this, just for speed purposes, but you could certainly use multi-purpose glue. Then I'll do the same fast fuse in the back of the silver foil. All right, and then layering that right there on the top. Isn't that a really pretty layering effect? I love that. All right, so we're gonna do a couple of small rhinestones. And then with the ribbon, you guys have seen me do this before. I've got about a 6-inch ribbon. This is the silver metallic edge ribbon, and I'm gonna do my little Vera Bradley ribbon pull here. So I'm gonna feed it through the back, wrap this side around the front, bring it to the back, feed it back through to the front, and then back up under that loop that we created. It's gonna give you just a nice flat finish. And then you just pull gently but firmly. And then I'm just gonna go ahead and cut those ends off at an angle. Now, here's a little trick that I learned from my beautiful mother, Pixie, which is what my blog is named after. She was a fabric crafter, and her trick was to take a lighter and take that to the ends of your ribbon so they don't fray. So let's go ahead and do that. I'm just running that really quickly over the edge. I'm not actually touching the ribbon, just getting that heat real close, and that's going to prevent those ribbons from fraying, because to put them in and out of the box, you're going to be bending them a little bit, and that's just going to keep the ends of that ribbon nice and clean for you. All right, so that's the tag. We're going to beg, borrow, and steal from the sample, those in the pockets. So I'm going to go ahead and wrap this box together, and then I'm just like gently tucking those ribbon ends inside. Okay, just gently, but again, since we took the lighter to them, they're not going to fray. Then we'll just stick our box on there. Our box lid, I mean. And that's going to hold it together, but let's do a really cool belly band here. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to take, this was cut from the Lots of Labels framelits in Fresh Fig, the same size, okay? I'm going to run a strip of fast fuse right down the center. Does not have to be perfect because we're going to hide this. Okay, I'm just going to kind of place it there over the box. Now I'm using the silver metallic edge ribbon, and I'm gonna just kind of eyeball it, stick it kind of in the center where we put that fast fuse, but make sure that it's in the center of that top scallop, okay? Then we're going to, not super tightly, but wrap this around the box. And then I'm just gonna trim it off. Okay. Again, let's do that. We're gonna go ahead and wrap it. Don't pull it too tight because we do wanna make sure that we can slide this on and off. And then again, I'm trying to line it up so that ribbon is in the center of that bottom scallop. And just press it into place in that fast fuse, okay? Let's go ahead and build this layer again. So this is the same kind of layout as our inside tag. So I'm just gonna grab some fast fuse. And then I'm gonna take liquid multi-purpose glue and kind of place that all over this little fresh fig piece, including kind of on the ribbon. We're gonna sandwich those together. So you won't see that ribbon hiding in between the sandwich. So actually I'm gonna go ahead and pull this off real quick because it's easier to kind of push those layers together. And we're just gonna lay this on the top. And you're magically hiding that ugly ribbon mess under there. So we've turned this into a really pretty belly band. And then I'm just gonna throw on a couple more rhinestones. And I'm using the teeny tiny ones here. And this paper piercing tool is one of my favorite tools. I can pick these up and put them right where I want them. All right, let's go ahead and put that belly band on. Slide that into place. So there we go. There is our gift tag gift box in fresh fig and silver. Just a beautiful combination. It holds 6 gift tags, and this would be a great little handmade gift to give for the holidays. So I want to thank you all so much for joining. I hope you have a wonderful and blessed week, and I'll see you next Wednesday, same time, same place. Take care. Bye.